Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Tadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yutapatakalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shya Shri Rupam Sakrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvairam Swavadudam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Raghunathan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shya He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanushtute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanjakalpatarubhyascha Kripa
Radhe.
Sindhubhayeva cha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurava Govinda Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shashwin. We're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, third chapter, verse number 17. Shashwin, will you be able to read the verse?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloker Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. Ayurharati Vaipumsam Udyan Astam Jayanasau Tasya Te Yat Ksano Nita Uttama Shloka Vataya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shashwin. We'll read the word to word. Ayu, duration of life. Harati, decreases. Why? Certainly. Pumsam, of the people. Udyan, rising. Astam, setting. Cha, also. Yan, moving. Asau, the sun. Tasya, of one who glorifies the Lord. Rite, except. Yat, by whom. Kshana, time. Nita, utilized. Uttama Shloka, the all good personality of Godhead. Vartaya, in the topics of. Translation. Both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life, except one who utilizes the time by discussing the topics of all good personality of Godhead. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. This verse indirectly confirms the greater importance of utilizing the human form of life to realize our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord by acceleration of devotional service. Time and tide wait for no man. So the time indicated by the sunrise and sunset will be uselessly wasted if such time is not properly utilized for realizing identification of spiritual values. even a fraction of Even a fraction of the duration of life wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. Human life is simply awarded to a living entity, Jiva, so that he can realize his spiritual identity and his permanent source of happiness. A living being, especially the human being, is seeking happiness because happiness is the natural situation of the living entity. But he is vainly seeking happiness in the material atmosphere. A living being is constitutionally a spiritual spark of the complete whole, and his happiness can be perfectly perceived in spiritual activities. The Lord is complete spirit whole, and his name, form, quality, pastimes, entourage, and personality are all identical with him. Once a person comes into contact with any one of the above mentioned energies of the Lord through the proper channel of devotional service, the door to perfection is immediately open. In the Bhagavad Gita 2.4, the Lord has explained such contact in the following words. Endeavors in devotional service are never baffled, nor is their future. A slight beginning of such activities is sufficient even to deliver a person from the great ocean of material fears. As highly potent drug injected intravenously acts at once on the whole body, the transcendental topics of the Lord injected through the ear by pure devotional devotee of the Lord can act very efficiently. Oral realization of the transcendental messages implies total realization. Just as fructification of one part of the tree implies fructification of all other parts. This realization for a moment in the association of pure devotees like Shukadeva Goswami prepares one's complete life for eternity. And thus, sun fails to rob the pure devotee of his duration of life. In as much as he is constantly busy in devotional service of the Lord, purifying his existence, death is a symptom of the material infection of the eternal living being. Only due to the material infection is the eternal living being entity subjected to law of birth, death, old age, and disease.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can I continue?
Yes,
Prabhuji?
Mataji. Yes,
Okay,
Mataji.
thank you. Hare Krishna. The materialistic way of pious activities like charity is recommended in the Smrita Shastra, as quoted by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Money given in charity to a suitable person is guaranteed bank balance in the next life. Such charity is recommended to be given to a Brahmana. If the money is given in charity to a non-Brahmana without Brahmanical qualification, the money is returned in the next life in the same proportion. If it is given in charity to a half-educated Brahmana, even then the money is returned double. If the money is given in charity to a learned and fully qualified Brahmana, the money is returned 100 and 1,000 times. And if the money is given to a Veda Paraga, one who has factually realized the path of the Vedas, it is returned by unlimited multiplication. The ultimate end of Vedic knowledge is realization of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedescha sarvais aham eva vedayah. There is a guarantee of money being earned if given in charity, regardless of the proportion. Similarly, a moment passed in the association of a pure devotee by hearing and chanting the transcendental messages of the Lord is a perfect guarantee guarantee for eternal life, for returning home back to Godhead. Madhama gatva punarjanma na vidyate. In other words, a devotee of the Lord is guaranteed eternal life. A devotee's old age or disease is in the present life is but an impetus to such guaranteed eternal life. Hare Krishna. So we don't have a speaker today, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I'm sorry, I got disconnected because of very feeble internet.
So it's okay. We don't have a speaker today?
Mataji, we don't have. Actually, I'm the speaker for today.
Okay, go ahead, Prabhuji. I will leave a bit early, so yes, I will be.
Okay, we have completed the verse, Mataji, in the sense the purport.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmritamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Sadhu Prabhu Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, third chapter, 17th verse. So, both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing the topics of all good personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. So, interestingly, I was seeing Prabhupada's one, reels in the Facebook today, and he was saying that what is the importance of the achievements, material achievements, whatever human beings is achieving at the end of life. We know that how the transmigration of the soul takes place, and then how one gets another body at the time of death, depending on the thought process at the time of death. So it depends on what thought process you're having. And if the thought process is to become a dog, then if he becomes a dog after dying, and then whatever materially he has accomplished is a complete waste of time and energy. So similarly, this verse is giving a lot of importance on the time. So the time and tide waits for no man. So time is ticking by the way of everyday sunrise and everyday sunset, everyday sunrise and sunset. So every day this time is passing, and months are rolling out, and then days are rolling out, weeks are rolling out, months are rolling out, years are rolling out. So I can remember myself, uh, I mean, just recently, in the sense, I was just a kid, and then I went to the college, I went to the university, and I got a job and got married, had children. So it's been such a fast time that I passed 54 years, 55 years of my life just like that. And then of course, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and devotees, we got a chance to at least do something in the devotional activity, that we are able to hear this message of Krishna. Otherwise, just imagine that this the life is so temporary, and then the time is ticking so fast. That's what this verse is trying to tell us, that by rising and setting, the sun is taking away all the years of our life. So there's a famous saying that add years to life, add life to years. So all these messages are coming, but the most important thing, the most important factor for human being is to understand, first of all, who he is, then who I am. The sense who, what I am, and then what is my purpose. Why why I have to suffer, why I have to, go through this birth, death, old age, disease. And then we are all experiencing. Most of us are experiencing diseases, and most of us are experiencing. We see that the loved ones are passing away. We see that the childbirth is happening, and then we know that how childbirth is so painful for the child and the mother. But still, that that Maya, that covering, is covering us in such a way that we are forgetting all those pains, and we are thinking that we just are trying to achieve something, trying to achieve some happiness, temporary happiness. So this temporary happiness is what we are all seeking for in this material world, in this material body. Actually, Prabhupada explains in one of the verses that Katala Saitata Paribindu Sama Sutamata Ramani Sama. That means if anybody goes in the desert, and then he wants hordes and hordes of water, and in so much of water he needs in the desert because the heat is so much. But if somebody gives a drop of water, if somebody gives a drop of water and then asks him to quench his thirst, so just like that, in the material world, the material flickering happiness is just like a drop of water in a vast desert. So it doesn't satisfy us completely. So while we are looking for the whole ocean of happiness, and then naturally we are inclined to be happy because we are all part and parcel of Krishna. We are Satchit Ananda Vigraha, meaning Sat means we are eternal, Chit means we are full of knowledge, and then Ananda means we are all blissful, naturally blissful in the association of Krishna, in the association of devotees. But if you take out these two things, and then if you are left alone in the material world, so we are not happy in the sense we are looking for happiness, but in the wrong place. In every attempt, we are getting failed in our every attempt of happiness. So this verse clearly confirms the greater importance of utilizing the human form of life to realize our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord by acceleration of devotional service. So Prabhupada's choice of words, as Vidura Prabhu always says, choice of words is exquisite, and then he chooses such words that accelerate human. This verse indirectly confirms the greater importance of utilizing the human form of life to realize our lost relationship with Supreme Lord by acceleration of devotional service. What do you mean by acceleration of devotional service? So constantly we have to check, constantly we have to increase our devotion to Krishna. How? By doing the sadhana. Our daily routine sadhana is there. So by chanting the mantra, chanting the Maha Mantra, the rounds what we have committed to our Guru and Krishna, and then the reading what we are doing every day, and the hearing. Most important thing is the hearing. How much we are hearing, Prabhupada's lectures, how much we are, hearing our Guru's lectures, how much are we spending time, although materially involved. Maybe we are all working, we are all householders, and we are all involved in many so-called materialist activities, but still we can be Krishna consciousness. We can be Krishna conscious in all the situations. Like when we are working in the office, while cooking, while going to the office, or while coming back from the office. In every situation, we can be Krishna conscious. There's no hard and fast rule that we can't be Krishna conscious. So this acceleration, we have to take it step by step. Then we have to go systematically. As Prabhupada said, first we have to learn the Bhagavad Gita, then we have to go to Bhagavatam, and then we study systematically in a disciplinic way. Then not to go jump to the other cantos and then try to learn other verses. So we have to do a systematic acceleration of our devotional service. Time and tide waits for no man. This is a famous English proverb: time and tide wait for no man. So if you go in the sea, the tides are coming again and again. It's not waiting for anybody. It's coming. It's naturally coming due to the wind and then going back. Time and tide waits for no man. So the time indicated by the sunrise and sunset will be uselessly wasted if such time is not properly utilized for realizing identification of spiritual values. So these spiritual values are lacking in this current civilization. If you take 99% of the population, how much are they spiritually inclined with spiritual values? How many, especially in the Hindu culture, Christians, they go to the church every Sunday. Muslims go to the mosque every Friday. But how many of Hindus read the Bhagavad Gita every day? How many of Hindus understand and digest the Bhagavad Gita on a day-to-day basis? And then how many of the Hindus, imbibe the culture of Bhagavad Gita, imbibe the message of Bhagavad Gita in themselves? Not many. So ISKCON, therefore, it is distributing books, Srila Prabhupada's books, and then it is wanting to reinstate the spiritual values which is human beings are lacking. So that's what Prabhupada said. We are here to create a Brahminical culture. So Brahminical culture means this is a Daivi Varnashrama Dharma. In the sense, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and then the ashrama is there. Grihastha Vanaprastha, Sannyasashrama, all the ashramas are there. So this Varna and Ashrama is for spiritual upliftment of the whole society. So this whole society used to function as one in this Varna and Ashrama system. That means Krishna has only said in the Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnyam Maya Shishtam Guna Karma Vivagasha. That means according to one's guna and karma, not according to birth. Actually, Brahmanas sometime back they misutilized the Brahminical culture, and then they said that one who is born in a Brahmana family is a Brahmana, otherwise no. So Prabhupada clearly stated that birth is not important. And also there are many examples. There are many examples in the history of devotees that any person who takes up to Krishna consciousness can become purified and then go to the level of Brahmana and then raise up to the level of Shuddha Sattva, go even higher than Brahmana and then achieve a highest perfectional stage of devotional service. So this is needed in this current situation, that we have to inculcate spiritual values in our surroundings. So how to do it? First of all, we have to become perfect ourselves, in the sense we have to practice devotional service ourselves, and then we have to spread these spiritual values to the neighborhood and then wherever we are living. Even a fraction of the duration of life wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. So Prabhupada also keeps quoting this, that Chanakya Pandita has said that even a minute's time, if we want it back, let's say 2024, 5th January, in the morning, 7 o'clock, if you want it back, if some millionaire, no, I want this early morning of 5th January 2024 in Kenya, if they want it, nobody can get it, even if they are ready to pay so much millions of gold coins or millions of dollars. So this human form of life is simply awarded to a living entity, Jiva, so that he can realize his spiritual identity and his permanent source of happiness. So we have this human form of life is given for understanding who we are, and then understanding what is our relationship with Krishna, and then what is that source of happiness. The source of happiness is Rishikesha. So master the senses. So we have also senses. Krishna also have senses, but Krishna's senses are spiritual. Our senses are covered by Maya. It is material. So if we are trying to enjoy the senses, so we are wrongly enjoying, and then we are not getting much happiness. So the so-called some happiness is there, which all of us are chasing, but still the real happiness is not there. So if we want to be really happy, then we have to water the root of the plant. Then we have to go to if you want gold, you have to go to the gold mine, not search gold anywhere else. So Krishna is the gold mine of happiness. So if you want real happiness, you have to go to Krishna, there where we will get happiness. And then by serving Krishna, we get immense happiness, unexplainable happiness. So that if you want to experience that kind of happiness, so we have to increase our appetites to serve Krishna and devotees. A living being, especially human being, is seeking happiness because happiness is the natural situation of the living entity. Especially human being is seeking happiness. Why? The animals are also seeking happiness in a very raw way, in a very basic way, eating, sleeping, mating, defending only. But if you see in the human society, you can see painters, you can see dancing, you can see singing, you can see art, and you can see poetry, you can see people are writing books. So people are going to the subtle forms of enjoyment, even though materially these are all subtle forms of enjoyment, but still they are on this material platform, not the gross senses platform, but the subtle senses platform. But still, what Prabhupada did, Prabhupada took these, the abilities of human beings, the devotees who are present at the time of Prabhupada was there. If somebody knew painting, so how beautifully Prabhupada instructed, how beautifully Krishna looked. In the background of my picture, there is Krishna Balaram with the cows. How it looks is almost like a photo. Somebody has taken a photo. So Prabhupada just explained that how Krishna is looking, how Balaram is looking, how he is happy in the Vrindavan forest with the cows and cowherd boys and cowherd girls. So he just explained to them, and then he gave that minor details. So with that details, they have replicated the Vrindavan here by the in the in terms of photography, in the sense of in terms of artistry. So how beautiful Prabhupada has brought out the subtle form of art in the devotees, but to serve Krishna. So this happiness, when utilized, because all of us are endowed with some kind of abilities. Each one of us have got some special ability to serve Krishna. So we have to identify that, and then if we are good in cooking, we can serve Krishna by cooking nice prasadam, and then going to the center, helping the devotees. For Sunday feast, we can offer our service as cooking prasadam for Krishna. If we are good in cleaning, if we are cleaning the house properly, and then we are good at cleaning, we can clean for Krishna. If we are good in reading the verses, we can read the verses and then recite. If you are good in singing, of course, in Krishna conscious movement, ISKCON, singing is given so much importance. Recently we had Rath Yatra. So many devotees were singing and dancing. So much singing was there, so much dancing was there. So all types of desires and all types of abilities can be utilized properly in the service of Krishna, and then you can get that satisfaction of spiritually enlightened soul, and then you can be happy in the company of Krishna. But because of our blunt senses, we are not able to realize Krishna. But as Rupa Goswami has said, Prabhupada often quotes this verse, Atasya Krishna Namadi na Bravet Grahyam Indriye. So that means our blunt senses are not able to perceive Krishna and Krishna's pastimes, entourage, Krishna's leelas. We cannot perceive. So we have to purify ourselves by starting Sevan Mukhehi Jihvado. That means we have to start serving Krishna with the tongue. So how to serve Krishna with the tongue? We have to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then we can also utilize the ear. So ear is also very important thing, very important sense that you can hear anything. If you hear material things, you don't get anything. Like Prabhupada said at the time of death, if you are hearing some, if you're contemplating on becoming a fish, if you're contemplating on becoming a dog or an animal, so Krishna is so merciful that why you want to artificially become? You actually become a dog, and then you enjoy a dog's life or a fish life. So we have an example of Bharata Maharaja getting attached from the bhava stage. He fell down. He was in the bhava stage of devotional service. He had left his kingdom. He has left his family, and we wanted to achieve greater devotional heights. But because he got attached to deer, then Krishna gave him a body of deer. But he was blessed to be conscious of his previous birth, and then he became Jada Bharata, and then later on he realized his mistake, and then got realized. So even a fraction of the duration of life is wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. Human life is simply awarded to a living entity, Jiva, so that he can realize his spiritual identity and his permanent source of happiness. A living being, especially the human being, is seeking happiness because happiness is the natural situation of the living entity, but is vainly seeking happiness in the material atmosphere. A living being is constitutionally spiritual spark of the complete whole. So as I explained, gold mine and gold are same. Qualitatively, a drop of seawater and then the whole seawater qualitatively is one. But the what is difference is quantity. So we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are also, we are eligible for enjoying with Krishna, like how Krishna is enjoying with the other devotees in Vrindavan. But we are completely covered by matter, and then we are contaminated in this material atmosphere. So what we have to do, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. That means we have to cleanse the mirror of our heart in such a way that the mirror starts to show our real identity. So our real identity is Krishna, I mean, Jiva Swarupa hai, Krishna Nitya Das. So that means, Krishna, I mean, Jiva's eternal position is Krishna Nitya Das. That means we are eternal servants of Krishna. So if a servant of Krishna wants to be happy, he has to go to the master, the real master. We are serving the master here also, but we are serving a wrong master. So when you serve a wrong master, we get the wrong results. The Lord is complete spirit whole, and his name, form, quality, pastimes, entourage, and personality are all identical with him. So this is the beauty of spirituality in Krishna consciousness. It's not separate. You know, if you like Haridas Thakur, he did not do anything, but he did only chanting. So he got perfection. So Prahlad Maharaj was only remembering Krishna. So he was Maranam. And then Parikshit Maharaj only heard about Krishna. 7 days, he didn't do anything, he heard about Krishna. Shukadeva Goswami was reciting the whole Bhagavatam. He did only reciting of the Bhagavatam. So all the nine devotional practices, what is there, it's all giving the same results. Either you have to do one or you can do more, but minimum is one. So once a person comes into contact with any one of the above mentioned energies of the Lord through the proper channel of devotional service. So this is very important. Proper channel of devotional service is very important. If you go to any other devotional service path, you may be bewildered by. I mean, you may not get the right direction, because we need a chain. We need a link to the proper parampara. So as we all know, we have 4 paramparas. You know, so 4 sampradayas. Sorry. So if you're not coming from these 4 sampradayas, so you're not connected to Krishna ultimately. So you can be worshipping any other demigod, any other people worship many demigods, and then people worship whimsically also. So demigod worship is not is not bad, but still it's not needed. For a jiva to go back to home, back to Godhead, he just needs to surrender to Krishna. As Krishna has said in the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja. That means you abandon all types of religion and then just surrender to me. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksheshami Mashucha. That means have no doubt at all that you will be delivered from all the sinful reactions. Once a person comes into contact with any one of the above mentioned energies of the Lord, through the proper channel of devotional service, the door to perfection is immediately opened. So in the Bhagavad Gita 2.4, the Lord has explained such contact in the following words. Endeavors and devotional service are never baffled. So this is a famous verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Neha brikama nashosti pratyavana vidyate swa alpam api asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. That means any small endeavor done in this spiritual path is not wasted. Suppose you have done 10% of Krishna consciousness in this birth, and then you leave your body. If you happen to leave your body, you have to start with 11%. You have to start from 11%. You don't have to start from 1. But if you are a millionaire here in this birth, and if you want to get that 1 million shilling after $1 million, if you want to get in the next birth, nobody will give you. Although there was a foolish person advertising himself in India that you invest in us and then we will give that money after you have born. We know the past, present, and future of you, and then we'll come and give you that money wherever you are, so that you don't waste. So such foolish people are there, and then such cheaters are there, and people who can be cheated even by them are going to be cheated. So these are the things we have to know, that any small amount of devotional activity done in this birth is never going to be in vain. So it is not going to be wasted. Endeavors in devotional service are never baffled, nor is there failure. A slight beginning of such activity is sufficient even to deliver a person from the great ocean of material fears. So we all have fears. So there is another verse quoted by Prabhupada in Bhagavatam. Samashritaye pada pallava plavam mahat pada punya yasho murari bhavam buder vatsa pada param padam 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 yat padam natesham. So that means this samashritaye pada pallava plavam mahat pada punya yasho murari. So if you are holding to the feet of Lord Krishna Murari, so that padam padam yat padam. So that means this material world is like a minefield. So every step is a minefield. If you are aware of the minefield in the war fields, if an enemy camp is coming, and then if we are entering the enemy area, they'll put what is known as mines. Well, I mean, if you touch on the mine, it will start blasting. So this is like a minefield. So, but this minefield will become like a water in the footprints of a calf. So that becomes it's so small, because otherwise this is bhavasagara. That means this material world is a bhavasagara. You cannot cross it. You cannot cross the material ocean like that. It is a very big ocean, and it's very difficult for an ordinary jiva to cross on himself. But if you catch on to the devotees, like if you catch on to the dhoti of Prabhupada, so you can, I mean, Prabhupada has, guaranteed that we'll go back to home, back to Godhead with him. So as highly potent drug injected intravenously acts at once on the whole body, the transcendental topics of the Lord injected through the ear by pure devotee of the Lord can act very efficiently. So here Prabhupada also gives a very nice example. Once the injection is given intravenously, so you don't have to give injection to all parts of the body, because blood is flowing all parts of the body. So this injection is going through all parts of the body, and then it's creating a whole body to be cured. So oral realization of the transcendental message implies total realization. That means when we are hearing Krishna Katha, it is purifying us. So just as fructification of one part of a tree implies fructification of all other parts. So that means if a tree is mature in one part, the fruits are there. So that means all the part of the tree is giving fruits. This realization for a moment in the association of pure devotees like Shukadeva Goswami prepares one's complete life of eternity, and thus the sun fails to rob the pure devotee of his duration of life. So sun will not, whether it's day or whether it's night, whether it's we have completed many years or whether we are young children, even there are examples that the children like Prahlad Maharaj, Dura Maharaj, achieved Krishna Prema, achieved Krishna at the age of 5 years. So there's no age, there's no caste, there's no creed, there's no color, there's no, difference in man and woman. So everybody is entitled to achieve Krishna's lotus feet. So death is a symptom of material infection of the eternal living being. Only due to the material infection is the eternal living entity subjected to law of birth, death, old age, and disease. So this is the infection. This is the material infection what we have. If we have to remove the material infection, we have to re-spiritualize ourselves with the Krishna consciousness. Then only this materialistic disease of birth, death, old age, disease will be gone. The materialistic way of pious activities like charity is recommended in the Smriti Shastras as quoted by Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura. Money given in charity to a suitable person is guaranteed bank balance in the next life. So it's also mentioned in the Vedas that if you give somebody a charity, so it will come back to you. So that means it's punya karma. That means pious activities will come back to us. So that means if you give money to somebody in charity, so you are suitable to get the same money back. Such charity is recommended to be given to a Brahmana. If the money is given to in charity to a non-Brahmana without Brahminical qualification, money is returned in the next life in the same proportion. If it is given in charity to a half-educated Brahmana, even then the money is returned in double. If the money is given in charity to a learned and fully qualified Brahmana, money is returned 100 and thousands of times. So in all possibilities, the people who are rich, what we see them rich, born rich, it's possibility that they're all give charity, They gave charity to brahmanas. They gave charity to highly qualified devotees. So they're enjoying the fruits of their charity, what they have given. The money is written in 100 and 1,000 times. And if the money is given to a Veda Paranga, one who has factually realized the path of Vedas, is written by unlimited multiplication. So it multiplies unlimitedly in your next birth. Ultimate end of Vedic knowledge is realization of personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedescha Sarvai Ahameva Vedya. So there is a guarantee of monies being returned if given in charity, regardless of the proportion. Similarly, a moment passed in the association of pure devotee by hearing and chanting the transcendental message of the Lord is a perfect guarantee of eternal life. So, what to speak of money? Also, when you given in charity in this birth, and it is given back in the same proportion as explained here, it is given back. What to speak of the devotional activity we do in the presence of a devotee? So it has immense effect. So by hearing and chanting the transcendental message of the Lord is a perfect guarantee for eternal life, for returning home back to Godhead. Madhama Gatva Punarjanmana Vidyate. In other words, a devotee of the Lord is guaranteed eternal life. A devotee's old age or disease in the present life is but an impetus to such a guaranteed eternal life. So Prabhupada ends this, purport by saying that death is just a material happening. It has to happen. It will happen for everybody who is born. It will happen for a devotee. It will happen for anybody, any materialist. But still, for a devotee, death is also glorious. That's why in our parampara, for all the great devotees, all acharyas, we celebrate even the appearance and also disappearance. We also celebrate the appearance day. We also celebrate the disappearance day. So this way, this is spirituality is in the absolute platform that we are glorifying is their disappearance also. That means they gave so much for us to cherish for the whole life that we also celebrate the disappearance day. In the same way, we celebrate the appearance day. So this way, this verse, once again, the translation, both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing the topics of all good personality Godhead. So the importance of time is very much stressed here in this verse. And then the sun rises and sun sets every day and takes away the important life period of our life. And then gradually we head towards the death. So Krishna is also as told in the Bhagavad Gita, Murtyu Sarva Harascha Aham. That means if you don't see me as Krishna through Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, you'll see me as death personified at the end of your life. Hare Krishna. So if there are any questions, comments, corrections, I'll take. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for your nice discourse. What do you mean by death personified?
So Krishna, Yama Raja will come as death personified and then take away the life, because Krishna is the ultimate cause of all causes. That means Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. That means for our death also, in a way, Krishna is also Sarva Karana Karana. So that means if you don't see Krishna now in a form that which you want to lovingly see, Krishna will come as death and then give us death, and then this cycle of birth and death goes on. So that's what it means. If you want to get out of the clutches of Maya and then the cycle of birth and death, you have to perform devotional activities so that you can see Krishna in a different way. Example is given, the cat catching the kitten and taking away, taking without any harm, but cat catching the rat is for a non-devotee. It comes and catches the rat and then gives mrityu to the rat. But for a devotee, cat catches the kitten and then takes away carefully to the eternal world. That's what it means, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Hare. Hare Krishna. If there are no questions or comments or corrections, we can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once, and then we can end this Srimad Bhagavatam session. Please unmute and chant Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa siddhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Srila Prabhupada की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम ग्रंथराज की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. You gave a very nice class.
Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.